The recent Oval Office meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy on February 28, 2025, was intended to strengthen U.S.-Ukraine relations and discuss critical issues such as a minerals deal and the ongoing conflict with Russia. However, the meeting devolved into a contentious exchange, highlighting deep-seated tensions and differing perspectives on diplomacy, gratitude, and international alliances. The primary agenda for the meeting was to finalize a minerals agreement that would grant the U.S. increased access to Ukraine's rare earth minerals. This deal was perceived by the Trump administration as a means for Ukraine to repay the extensive aid provided by the U.S. during its conflict with Russia. Additionally, the meeting aimed to explore avenues for a ceasefire and establish a framework for lasting peace in the region. The discussions took an unexpected turn when President Trump accused President Zelenskyy of gambling with World War III, suggesting that Ukraine's actions were jeopardizing global peace efforts. This accusation stemmed from differing views on how to approach negotiations with Russia and the perceived risks associated with Ukraine's stance. Vice President Vance further exacerbated the situation by criticizing Zelenskyy for a perceived lack of gratitude towards the U.S. He questioned whether Zelenskyy had adequately expressed thanks for the support received, implying that Ukraine's leadership was taking U.S. assistance for granted. President Zelenskyy defended Ukraine's position by emphasizing the sacrifices made by his nation in the fight against Russian aggression. He highlighted the devastation experienced by Ukrainian cities and communities, urging U.S. leaders to understand the gravity of the situation. Zelenskyy also expressed concerns about the trustworthiness of Russia in any peace negotiations, reflecting skepticism about the prospects of a fair and lasting agreement. The escalating tensions led to the abrupt termination of the meeting, resulting in the cancellation of the anticipated minerals agreement. This outcome not only strained diplomatic relations, but also left unresolved questions about future collaborations between the U.S. and Ukraine in resource development and economic partnerships. The fallout from the meeting elicited a spectrum of reactions on the global stage. European leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, reaffirmed their support for Ukraine, criticizing the U.S. administration's approach and expressing concerns about the potential weakening of the Western alliance against Russian aggression. Conversely, Russian officials welcomed the discord between the U.S. and Ukraine. Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova praised the outcome, suggesting that the U.S. administration had exercised restraint during the confrontation. Within the United States, reactions were polarized along partisan lines. Supporters of President Trump lauded his firm stance, interpreting it as a commitment to prioritizing American interests and advocating for a diplomatic resolution to the conflict. Critics, however, viewed the confrontation as a diplomatic misstep that undermined a key ally and potentially emboldened adversarial nations. The Oval Office confrontation underscores the complexities inherent in international diplomacy, particularly when national interests, perceptions of gratitude, and differing strategic priorities intersect. The expectation of gratitude, as emphasized by Vice President Vance, raises questions about the dynamics of international aid and alliances. While acknowledgement of support is customary, leveraging it as a point of contention can strain relationships and shift focus from collaborative problem-solving to issues of national pride and respect. The differing approaches to the Russia-Ukraine conflict highlight a broader debate on the balance between pursuing peace and ensuring justice. President Trump's inclination towards negotiating a ceasefire reflects a desire to de-escalate tensions, whereas President Zelenskyy's caution stems from historical grievances and concerns about Russia's reliability in honoring agreements. The proposed minerals deal illustrates the intersection of economic interests and geopolitical strategy. For the U.S., securing access to rare earth minerals is both an economic opportunity and a strategic move to counterbalance China's dominance in this sector. For Ukraine, the deal represents a potential pathway to economic recovery, but also raises concerns about sovereignty and equitable resource distribution. The abrupt and public nature of the confrontation may have lasting implications for U.S.-Ukraine relations and the broader international community's approach to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Re-establishing trust between the U.S. and Ukraine will require deliberate diplomatic efforts. Both nations must navigate the aftermath of this incident by reaffirming shared goals, addressing grievances, and fostering open channels of communication. The incident serves as a reminder of the fragility of international alliances. It underscores the need for consistent and coherent foreign policy strategies that consider the perspectives and aspirations of allied nations. The February 28, 2025, Oval Office meeting between President Trump, Vice President Vance, and President Zelenskyy serves as a poignant example of the challenges inherent in international diplomacy. It highlights how divergent national interests, expectations of respect and gratitude, and differing strategic priorities can converge to create significant diplomatic rifts. Moving forward, it is imperative for global leaders to engage in empathetic dialogue, seek common ground, and prioritize collaborative approaches to address complex international issues.